So, we had a miscarriage, and we're going to talk about it today. So, join us as we talk about the hard stuff.
Why did this happen? What do you do now?
Let's talk about it. So, welcome again, guys. We're excited that you're here. And today, as we said, we're talking about the miscarriage that we had. Not a subject that is fun to talk about. It was really painful, but that's one reason we wanted to talk to you guys. And one thing that we struggled with was why this happened. Yeah. And so we wanted to talk about it because we've been looking at the situation. And because we've already got 3 healthy kids, so we've never had a miscarriage or any problems before. So this was just out of the blue, and so we're really praying. We were asking like, God, what's going on? What's the problem? And then we started searching the scriptures, and so that's what we're going to talk about. So, how did it happen? Can you start to explain the story for us?
How did it happen? Okay.
Yeah.
So September the 8th, it was a Sunday, 2019. So. At the time we're recording this was just a little over 2 weeks ago. I guess almost 3 weeks ago at this point.
Yeah.
Normal Sunday morning. I forget what all had happened that Saturday and into Sunday, but we, for whatever reason, we weren't actually going to church that Sunday. Our church meets on Tuesday, but we go to another one on Sunday. And that particular morning, I think we had woken up late, and there's no way we're going to be able to get all the kids ready and get out the door for church.
No.
And so... just got up, went to the bathroom, everything was fine and normal, and then all of a sudden there was blood. And obviously having 3 pregnancies, I knew that generally blood is not good. That yes, there are times where it could be normal, but I got really uncomfortable very fast, even though it wasn't a lot of blood initially. It was still just enough to really make me uneasy. Immediately I started praying. I don't remember if I told you at that point or not.
No, I don't think so.
Immediately, I started praying. I know that we serve a God who can do the miraculous. We have seen him do miracles, like healing miracles within our own lives. We have witnessed him heal other people. So we know he can do it. So just immediately began to pray over my body, over the baby, over all those things. And as time went on that day, the bleeding didn't stop. And I started cramping, and the bleeding actually began to increase. It was at that point that I kind of knew that this was not good.
No.
I did not want to say, "Oh no, my baby's dead. I'm losing this one." I was like, "Look, I'm going to have faith to the very end."
And you had told me by this point, so
yeah. At
this point, I'm in the living room, and I'm praying as well.
Yeah.
And.
I come in at one point, and I just remember falling on my knees beside him, crying, like, I do not want to lose this baby. And, of course, he was like, neither do I.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, neither of us really knew what to do in that situation except to pray. And so that's what we kept doing. And I, kind of put a call into the doctor, and there was, they told me, okay, at this point, you need to go to the ER. So we did that, went to the ER. At that point, my cramping, it never got all that bad, but at that point it kind of subsided, and we both kind of felt an odd peace through all of this, which I think we'll probably talk more about later. But we just kind of felt a peace, still praying as much as we can. As we're driving down, we dropped the kids off with Johnny's parents, and we get down there, they start running tests and everything, and by the end of that hospital, that time in the hospital, it was evident there was no baby in my womb, and my pregnancy hormone levels were very, very low. And so at that point, we knew, okay, baby's gone.
And it also helped when the doctor walked in, and first thing he did was turn off the TV, and it was just, okay, that's not good.
Yeah, and so we kind of already knew at that point too.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because this may not be the time and the place in the story to tell this, but I'm going to go and tell it. It was interesting because we walk into the ER, and we get back to our room and walked into the room, and the room was number 5. And you're probably thinking, okay,
yeah,
great. And one of the things that we've already known is that 5 in the Bible or grace is usually represented in the Bible by the number 5. And at small group, I think a week or 2 weeks before that, my friend and small group leader, she had spent time really talking about God's grace, and not just the fact for forgiveness of sins, but the other reasons we need God's grace. And so it was really cool walking in that room at that time, because we knew that no matter what happened, God's grace was enough.
Yeah.
Whether we were walking out of here in tears by me because we didn't have a baby, or whether we were walking out knowing, hey, it's okay, the baby's fine, we knew that it was all back to God's grace, and that He was with us no matter what.
Yeah.
So leaving the hospital, we knew that the baby was gone, and that was tough.
Yeah.
That was a tough text message to have to send to our friends and family who've been praying for us all day. Yeah. It was a tough phone call to make to my mom, who was on the way, who was driving on her way up.
3 hours away, by the way.
Yeah.
And for many of these people, this is the first time they even knew we were pregnant, because we were so early in the pregnancy that they didn't even know. So it was like, hey, we're pregnant.
But not really.
Not
maybe
anymore.
Not. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was.
Yeah. So that was tough, and the toughest part was actually having to tell Caleb. Right now he's 5.
Yep.
And our middle son Andrew, he's 3. I don't know how much he really understood what was going on, but Caleb knew that I was pregnant. Both boys had been wanting me to have another baby for a while, and he knew when we left that the baby was in danger, and that there was a lot of bleeding, and that wasn't good. And I mean, that boy can pray.
He was praying for it.
He was praying over me. He was praying over the baby. I mean, he was speaking life into the child, and so when we got back to Johnny's parents' house after being at the hospital, they were on the screened-in porch in the front, and we were walking down, and he sees us, and he goes, "Mommy, Daddy, did the baby make it?"
And we had to say no.
No, son, the baby's in heaven. And I think at that point,
got both of us right there, because I was doing okay. The hospital's like a 45-minute drive, 30-minute drive away, and so we're doing pretty good. And then to hear Caleb asking to yell that to us, and then we had to say no, it was just like, that was the first time I cried about it.
Yeah. I've been crying all day, so.
She had.
Yeah.
She had. But because she was crying, I had to drive the car. I had to think about things. So, for me as the guy, I was just trying to, okay, I've got to hold some stuff together.
Yeah.
So that we can just do what we need to do. I can't just sit and cry.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of interesting. There's sometimes I didn't talk to her, because it's like if I talked to her, I was gonna cry. And so it was like, even on the ride home, it was like I didn't say much, because it was like, if I say anything, I'm gonna cry. But I still got to drive the car home.
Yeah.
I still have to think about our safety.
Yeah. It's one of those time and a place for that to happen.
I couldn't. It was like I couldn't process it really yet.
Yeah. So that was probably the toughest. One of the toughest times.
Yeah.
Was having to tell him, no, the baby's in heaven.
Yeah.
And then after that, he was like, "Mommy, that makes me really sad, because I wanted that baby to live."
Yeah.
Me too, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, we were both saying that. I was like, hey, we did too. We don't want to wait to heaven. We don't want to have to wait to heaven to see this baby, but
yeah.
That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we'll spend a lot more time in heaven than we will on this earth.
Yes.